This phone has a projector, that's right, you can project an image over 100 inches wide. But that's not all. The phone has an AMOLED display, HDMI output, night vision camera, police lights, camping light, and high-end performance. Along with many other features, it's absolutely insane. It's basically a war tank, and that's why its name is Tank 4 Pro, a phone from the brand 8849. Join me to watch the full video. Inside this quite minimalist box, you get your Tank 4 Pro. In the box, you'll find a screen protector, manuals, a 120-watt fast charger, and a USB Type-C to Type-C cable. Here's the Tank 4 Pro. It comes very well protected, and even though it's a rugged phone, it includes a plastic case. On the front, it has the selfie camera, and as you can see, it already comes with a pre-installed screen protector. On the top, we find the jewel of the crown, the projector. Next to it, there's a laser sensor that adjusts the projector's focus. We also have an infrared light that works as a remote control and an air vent for the fan. On the right side, we have the air intake and the power button, which also serves as the fingerprint reader. On the bottom, there's the USB-C port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left side, there are two quick access buttons. The red button is preset to turn on the camping light, but if you go into settings, you can customize both buttons to do whatever you want. Open apps, take screenshots, make emergency calls, and many other options. Above these buttons, we find the SIM tray. It supports 2 nano SIM cards and a micro SD, all at the same time. And finally, the volume buttons, which are separated and have a nice quality click. On the back, you'll find the camera module. The white strip is the police light and the yellow one is the camping light. A bit lower, you'll find the device's only speaker, and that's pretty much the phone's design. It feels very solid, made of quality materials, and weighs a bit over 500 grams. Though it's not overly thick, I'd say it's fine. Now let's move on to the most powerful feature, the projector. It's a projector with 720p resolution, meaning HD. You can project from a small 20-inch screen up to a screen of more than 100 inches. To project 100 inches, you need to place it at a distance of about 3 meters, and for that, you have to set the projector's brightness to the maximum, otherwise the projection would look too dim. If you set the brightness to maximum, it starts to heat up, so the fan turns on at full power and makes a moderately loud noise. But if you turn up the volume of what you're watching, you won't even notice the turbine. The projector calibrates automatically since it has a laser sensor, but if for some reason this sensor gets miscalibrated, you can recalibrate it. In the projector settings, you'll find a specific option for that. You'll also find the keystone adjustment, which can be manual or automatic. You can also set the device orientation if you want it to always project in landscape mode, or you can use it in vertical mode as well. An unusual feature is that it allows you to schedule the projector's automatic power on and automatic shutdown. Regarding quality, it's quite good. Even if you project on a 120-inch screen, the image still looks very nice. The resolution isn't full HD, but in HD it looks great, and it also depends a lot on the content you're projecting. Some look better than others. It's hard to convey through video what I saw in person, but believe me, it looked really good, and for better reference, I compared it with a regular projector. The only difference I noticed was that the regular projector had slightly more vivid colors, but it wasn't a big deal. In fact, the phone projector had a wider projection range and also had autofocus, something the regular projector didn't have. It's definitely something you can really enjoy, especially if you play video games. Connect a controller and set up a 50-inch screen. You'll have a great time. It's curious that a phone has a projector, but it's very useful and very interesting. In terms of performance, this phone is absolutely crazy. It has a MediaTek Dimensity 8300 processor, 16GB of actual RAM, plus you can virtualize another 16GB, and it comes with 512GB of storage. With these specs, it scored 1,647,000 points on the Antutu benchmark, a high-end smartphone performance, and definitely a score not many phones can reach. Needless to say, with this phone, you'll be able to run practically any everyday app, so I decided to put it to the test mainly with video games and a few emulators, starting with God of War for PSP. This game not only ran at 60 frames per second, but I could also increase the resolution up to 4x. It practically ran at 60 frames with a better resolution than the original release. It worked wonderfully with no lag whatsoever. GTA San Andreas Definitive Edition, also with graphics set to maximum, worked great. But what did happen with this game was that at certain moments it had small frame drops, very minor ones, maybe dropping from 60 to around 50 frames. Most of the time, it stayed stable at 60 frames per second. This Asphalt game also ran on maximum graphics very smoothly at 60 frames per second, and there were no frame drops at all, not even during heavy action. Bully, with graphics on maximum, also ran perfectly at 60 frames per second with no frame drops. One that did present a real challenge was Way of the Hunter. If you set it to maximum graphics, it was definitely very laggy. You had to lower it about 2 levels for it to run well. That doesn't mean the phone is bad. This is one of the heaviest games that exist on Android, and in fact, it has very little optimization since it's a console game that was ported to Android but wasn't optimized much. It's a truly heavy game. Even if you had a NASA phone, it would be hard to run it on maximum settings. Even so, this phone ran it on high graphics, not ultra, but high. Ark Survival Evolved with maximum graphics also ran beautifully with no lag at all, and that's saying something since Ark is a poorly optimized game. Call of Duty on this phone is basically a joke because Call of Duty is super well optimized. It ran perfectly on maximum graphics. Testing another emulator, in this case the PlayStation 2 one with God of War, it ran beautifully at 60 frames per second. I even increased the resolution to 3x and it still ran at 60 frames. Playing this kind of game on your phone with a controller is a unique experience. It truly feels like a gaming console. 10 out of 10. The last video game I tried was Fortnite. It's already known that this game has very poor compatibility and also bad performance, and on this phone it was no exception. The best I could play it was at 30 frames per second and at a very low resolution. I'm sure it wasn't a power issue but rather a compatibility one, because last year when I tried the Tank 3 Pro, Fortnite ran without any problem, but this Tank 4, which is more powerful, couldn't run it. Still, there's no doubt that you'll be able to play most games on high graphics, and if you want it for gaming, there's a very interesting fact. If you have one of those USB-C to HDMI adapters, you can connect this device to any monitor, whether it's a computer monitor, a TV, or even a capture card on your PC if you're going to record gameplays. This HDMI output feature has a lot of potential, and very few phones on the market have it. Even some powerful high-end phones don't, but this gem does. A very rarely seen but highly functional feature. Speaking of the screen, without a doubt, it's another of its premium features. A 6.7 3-inch AMOLED display with a 1440x3200 resolution, it's more than Full HD but less than 4 kelvins, yet still an excellent resolution, and it has a 120 Hz refresh rate, which means it's the best of the best in mobile screens. It's the kind of screen any high-end device should have, with excellent color quality and a very strong resolution, definitely a 10 out of 10 screen. The only downside of this device, and it's not bad because it's bad, but because it feels too little for such a device, is the audio. It only has one speaker, so there's no stereo sound, and the speaker has quite average quality. It doesn't sound bad, but it doesn't sound premium either, and it doesn't get very loud. Considering it's a device with a projector, it might have been a good idea to include a better speaker. I think that's the only weak point this phone has. We go straight to the lights on this phone. We have two: the camping light and the police lights. The police light is quite simple. You can turn on only the blue light, only the red one, or both combined. I'm not sure who might find this useful, but using police lights is illegal in some countries, so be careful. The other light is the camping light, which is roughly equivalent to a 90-watt bulb. It's a pretty powerful light. Here, for example, I was comparing it with a regular household bulb, and as you can see, it provides practically the same brightness. What's interesting about this light is that you can use it along with the camera, so if you want to take a photo or record a video, you can turn on this light and then capture your shots that way. You'll get well-lit photos. Speaking of cameras, we have a main 50-megapixel camera, a 64-megapixel night vision camera, a 50-megapixel telephoto camera, and a 32-megapixel front camera. There's not much to say about these. They're quite average cameras that take decent photos, don't alter colors much, and it's hard to get a bad shot. However, they're not like those of a high-end device. I think the phone falls a bit short here. What I did like is that when you're recording video, you can switch from the regular camera to the telephoto one, and it makes a very smooth transition, allowing you to shoot telephoto videos with up to 20x zoom. Regarding the night vision camera, it also allows you to record videos and take photos, and the infrared light has a range of about 10 meters more or less. In the camera section, I'd say it performs decently. Speaking of a couple of features that seem interesting to me, one lets you activate the projector's fan even when the projector is off. This helps cool the device in case you're playing for long periods or have the flashlight on and it gets too hot, you can turn on the fan. The other option allows you to drain water and dust in case your device has been in water or dropped on dirt. Remember, it's a rugged use device and will probably survive, but since it has such large air vents, I wouldn't recommend putting it in water. Finally, regarding the battery, it has 11,600 mAh, a very durable one. Complemented by 120-watt fast charging, it should go from 0 to 100 inches about an hour. In connectivity, you have everything you need: Bluetooth, NFC for card payments, GPS, 5 GHz Wi-Fi, and up to 5G for mobile networks. To unlock the device, you can use a fingerprint or facial recognition, but for some reason, the fingerprint unlock is a bit laggy. Facial unlock works a bit better. And that's basically everything about this device, without a doubt. An all-terrain beast with very interesting and useful features. The price is around $600. Definitely not a budget phone. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to have a Tank 4 Pro. In the end, you have the last word. I'll leave it here, over and out.